Why was Inoue in detention? Why is his Black Dragon uniform marked up with 100 different things on there, like talking about revenge and life and all this other stuff? Why was he wearing high heels? Like,
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
What up, YouTube? Tokyo Revenger fans, we're back. Episode 9. We're going to be talking about it, breaking it down like we always do for you. You want to start off, Andrew?
oh yeah, man, that most definitely, man. So, welcome to the great ending of the arc for Tokyo Revengers episode 9. As you said, we're actually taking it from the manga series chapter 107 and 106 107 is where it's coming from. We finally get the resolution of Taiju. We finally get the resolution why Mikey's there. We finally get some closure on a couple of feelings that Hakken and Yuzuka had towards their brother. And I emphasize the had because it's over. So we open up the scene. Mikey sitting there. Wait, my apologies. Mikey's riding on his bike coming in. You can hear his bike, the silent air, and maybe you can hear it, Nick. I remember you mentioned last time. You're like, man, how can you hear? It's like it's almost midnight in Tokyo. Yeah. Most people are either in the bar drinking or they're not there. Like they're not out in the street. So maybe you can hear that motorcycle coming in, right? So we get like I said, then it flashes inside the church and we see it is Mikey. Mikey's there. He's staring down Taiju. He basically tells the rest of the gang, hey man, what's up, what's going on, because they're all beat up and ragged looking like they're gonna fall for death. And so he gets in there. Mikey's approaches Taiju. He tells him, hey, what you got going on here, man, because I ride with my brothers and you're keeping them up, so what's up, right? And so Mikey goes, so everybody stops and pause. So Tamagichi's looking, Chichiro's looking, I may be pronouncing the names wrong. Who else is, what's his name?
And Matsuya.
Chifu. Yeah, Chifu. Yeah. Chifu is looking. And basically they're like, why is Mikey, what's Mikey's intention? Is he going to help? Is he not going to help? Right. And Mikey's like, hey, your guys are okay. And then they're like, nah, man. So Matsuya, he starts to apologize. He says, this is my fault. I'm so sorry, Mikey, for dragging everybody into this. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. And he said, I broke the peace agreement. And Mikey starts to give this dead look in his eyes, just dead. And he stares over to Tamagichi because he knows Tamagichi is like basically instigated most of this stuff, right? And he says, nah. He goes, yeah, I know you did, but he goes, you're good. And then he goes, but it's not actually you. He says, Baji is the one who told me. And he, like, everybody's like, what's going on? Like, what's happening here, man? And he says, it's just the sweet sound of his bike. That's what I want. So we get this reflection from Mikey of like, the death of his brother, the Baji missing or going to jail, like this camaraderie that Mikey had that he's losing one by one, right? And so everybody's like, what's going on, man? Is he here? Is he losing it? Like, so Tamagichi starts piecing all these things together that everybody's telling him, like Kisue is like, hey, he's losing his edge, he's losing his vigor, he's losing his power, his might. And so Tamagichi's like, oh man, we're gonna lose. He's like, Mikey's not in the right headspace for this, man. He's gonna get his butt whooped by Taiju, man. So so Mikey's like, Mikey's then they switch into a backflash and everything, and of those conversations, and Tamagichi's like basically like, no, Mikey, don't do it, man, because you're gonna get beat up. Taiju's a monster, man. So Taiju's like, all right, so you're the invincible Mikey, I see you. He was like, well, you know what, I'm a beast. I'm a beast. I'll take you down, man. And if then he goes, Mikey, just with this blank look in his face, he said, if Mitsuha dies, then Baji, my big bro, would be sad. And everybody's just like, Mikey, you losing it, man. You losing it, Mikey. And then so they go through that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, man, Taiju, boom, whacks him. And remember, that's what I told you before. I go like, this is a fight. Have these internal monologues like in the middle of a fight is a mystery to me. Like I've been in fights, man, and it never I could stop and just think about life and reflect on my dead loved ones, man. So Taiju just like, bam, man, one hitter quitter right to Mikey's dome and sends him to the ground. He does one of those anime, I'm take you to the fist to the ground punches, right? Everybody stops. Like the world stops to Tamagichi, right? Everybody starts screaming. Taiju's like, man, and then all of a sudden you hear the chimes of midnight, right? So it's December 26th now, and he goes, Mike Taiju goes, even the bells chime to bless my victory of this holy night. And yeah, so man, everybody's like, oh man, Taiju won this, man. He was like, why even Mikey even show up? That's the biggest thing, right? Yeah. So now we have it cuts to Inui. He basically starts to reflect, right? He goes, man, you're gonna lose this. He was like, Mikey, don't fight him, right? He goes, don't fight him because you're gonna lose. Taiju is a different level. So we flash to a flashback of Inoue coming out of a detention center for kids, right? For middle schools, right? So we're talking about juvenile hall, right?
Yeah.
So Coco meets him outside, and now me and Nick had a discussion. We had to see what was going on. Like, why is Inoue wearing high heels when he comes out of there, right? So I had to go into the manga, I digged into it, and I without going further and learning like down the road any secrets and stuff like that, they just basically lay out that he goes, oh, you're a crazy dresser. That's all they say. Coco says about him wearing high heels in his Black Dragon uniform. Like, I don't even get it, man. And even the manga strips have clank, clank, clank from his high heels as he's walking up those steps. So, like, it is ridiculous, man. So, that being said, basically he comes out, he learns that Black Dragon has been dissolved pretty much. All the leaders have ran away. So he goes, man, I'm gonna build Black Dragon back up. And Coco says, all right, man, but you're gonna need some help. And I know this one guy, he's just an extraordinary guy, man. He's he's a badass. And Mike, and then is like, all right, man. He goes, okay, so show me where he's at. And he goes, all right, man, we'll go meet him at the school. So they went up to the school where Coco goes to school at, and sure enough, they come into the classroom and they see Taiju. Taiju is just chilling, in his seat. And anyway, being, like a captain of the Black Dragons at the time, right? He just says, hey, come with me for a second, Taiju Shiba. And Taiju just rise up like 6 foot tall. I was telling you, he's like 6'2" in the eighth grade, right? Like, no, this is like about 10th grade. He's like 6'2" in the 10th grade, like 300 pounds, solid muscle guy, right? And he goes, you better make this fun. So he meets him out there in the corner, basically before they could say anything. Like, I never lost to anyone. Not Taiju. Anyway, is basically saying I never lost to anyone one-on-one fight before, and until I met Taiju Shiba, man. And then it flashes to him, boom, on the floor, beat up, scraped up, like it looked like he did a one-hitter quitter on them. Taiju is just like, doesn't say anything, stares him down. Inoue gets in a a submissive. Good thing he ain't wearing his high heels. He took the liberty to put some real shoes on. You don't want to slip, right? So you got to take the high heels off, bro. Be safe. And he submits to Taiju and says, "You're the boss." And then Taiju says, "Fine, fine by me. I'll reform the Black Dragon gang." And then he says, you got to give your life to me too." And Coco goes, "In return." And then he says, "I'm gonna make Black Dragon #1." And so they flash to these epic scenes. This is where you got to disband your belief, because the man's fighting a war. He's born in Vinland Saga time, not Taiju time, right? This man punching 4 people out of the way, like using superpower moves, like, like, man, it was like a video game, man, like a straight up video game. But I guess it's like coming from the mind anyway, right? So coming from the mind of somebody who's in like maybe 10th, 11th grade, right? Like it's coming from his mind and his perspective. So you kind of like, yeah, I guess that's the way you would envision it. Like, like him fighting, like knocking 4 people out and stuff like that. Video game. So I get the depth writing. I get the imagery. So he tells Mikey, "Hey Mikey," Mikey gets up off the ground and goes, "Hey man, you ain't gonna beat him. He's a monster. He's a beast. And even Mikey, Tamagichi, not Mikey, my apologies, Tamagichi, Chichiro, Mitsuha, Hake, and Yuza, man, everybody's just like, yeah, he's a beast. You're not gonna beat him." Mikey's like, gives him a look in his eyes, like, "Y'all never been punched before?" Like, y'all never got fight before. What's up, man? So Mikey manages to get back on his feet. Tamagichi's like, "Man, he's in trouble, man. He doesn't know what he's dealing with, man. He's dealing with Taiju Shiba. He's way too overpowered, man." Taiju Shiba's giving him that look like, "Man, you son of a cracker, I'm gonna knock you out again." And he goes, "You know what? Mikey goes, I took that hit for the punishment of myself, man." He was punishing himself. So Mikey, everybody like, this man is truly off the train, right? So nobody understands what he means by that, and then all of a sudden, boom, we see Taiju on the floor, knocked out, like out cold, right? Eyes behind his head. Inoue, Kokugo, Tamagichi, what? Their eyes. Boom. Everybody's like, what just happened? But it goes to point. Remember, Tamagichi punched him in the jaw. Remember, I told you? I was like, it seems like he has a glass jaw, because Tamagichi was able to punch him in the jaw and knock him down onto his knee. So definitely his weak point there, is his jaw, definitely. So knocked him out cold. They go back to a retrospective. What happened? Mikey does his karate kick, square into his jaw, and just laid him out on the floor. And that's whenever it comes into the chapter dawning of a new era, right? We know Black Dragon is just about done. So he's sitting there, he's out. He doesn't know what to do. The Taiju is knocked out. Everybody's getting happy. Hakai, Chifu, Misua, Yuza, everybody's just like, what the heck, dude? This is why they call him the Invincible Mikey, right? One of the things is I saw a tier list, and the tier list basically said he's at the very top of how do you want to die today? Like nobody was up there, but it's just how do you want to die today? That's his tier list. So he starts to tell him, man. He says, "Man, I wanted to riding with Baiji and my Steve, but I decided to swing by to see what's up." And he pulls out his necklace of his brother. It's a little talisman, and yeah, right, talisman for his brother, right? Yeah, talisman for his brother, yeah. And so
what's up, Baji's?
It's like a little momentum or something like that. Okay, so it's the memento for his brother that Baiji gave him for him. So
Yeah.
to remember his brother by. So he's like, whenever he wears it, he feels like Baiji and his brother is with him at the time when he's riding. So it kind of feels, we get a little somber moment for him, like a little understanding of why he's been acting a little erratic because it's the holiday seasons. He's missing his family because we tend to we know they're 19 and 17, 18 years old, but they're still human, right? They're still kids. They still have to try to process their feelings and stuff like that. They're not like Tamagichi, a 35-year-old man or 37-year-old man in a 12-year-old body, right? So we gotta understand, they gotta process their feelings, right? So he goes, my brother Baiji and you guys, man, y'all my family. It's what makes me strong, man. So he holds it close to his chest. And everybody, man. So everybody starts to tear up and they're like, man, we won this, man. And he goes, Mikey goes, let's ride. It's almost Christmas may be over, but come on, guys, let's get on the bike. Man. And then all of a sudden we see Taiju weakly getting up, man. The F do you going, man? So he's foaming from the mouth. He's like, this isn't over yet, Toman, because he put the whole group on blast, right? The whole gang on blast, right? He goes, man, I got 100 men outside. He go call the guards, man. Go call the soldiers, man. We're gonna kill them. And he goes, everyone starts to look at each other. Shifu, Mitsuya, Hakai, and Tamagichi, they all look at each other and they go, today is a good day to die. Because they all they know they're gonna go out there and fight 100 men and they're gonna die today. So they're like, man, you got the straight, brother. They're like, I got the straight, but we're gonna die. So Mikey's playing the chill, man. They don't even look at Mikey. They're so concerned about they're about to die. And Mikey's like, black dragons are strong. I'll give you that, Taiju. But he goes, you're in a good fight, man. But you got no heart, and that's why you lost. You got to have heart, and that's where you draw your strength from. And he goes, we're going to create a new age, and that's when they set the seeds down for Mikey to basically take control over all of the alliances, right? So he said, Taiju was like, sit back and watch. I'm going to do it, man. He goes, Coco, the hell, what are you waiting for, man? Go, get all the boys. Coco walks outside, man, with this look in his eye like, what the hell just happened? And he's looking, and sure enough, we see the familiar tattoo on the side of the head just sitting there like, what's up, man? As cool as can be, right? Like as cool as can be, man. Man, Draken right there. Man, he goes, oh man, y'all wrapping things up? Man, let Mikey know I'm done over here, man. And you see everybody's on the floor, man. So 100 guys laid out, 100 black dragons, killers. Remember that killers.
Yeah,
they got the band of killers. Yeah, the kill squad. So everyone's knocked out, man. Everyone's done for. Mikey isn't even moving. He's just chilling. He's like, yeah, I know. Draken took care of the rest. Everyone's breathing this sigh of relief, man, that this fight is over. Christmas is over. And Draken opens the door. He says, man, why everybody so tense in here, man? What's going on? So, and then everybody is like, Draken, man, Draken, what's up, man? And he goes, man, I stopped all the. And everybody was just like, really? Tamagichi finally, man, he runs outside, takes a look, and they're like, we won. We won this battle, man. With all his energy, man, he mustered up. He tried to, and then he just like stops. And then we see out of his busted eye, like the camera pans on his busted eye, he got his little blood tear going down his face. But you can see on the US anime, I guess they didn't do the blood tear, but in the manga they got his blood tear. That would have been cool in the anime if they would have showed his blood tear, So he got his blood tear. Hakai, Yuzuha, Taiju, they're like all in shock and disbelief. And Tamagichi's like, I got through Christmas, man, without dying. He was like, mission complete. No one died. We don't know like truly if no one died, but we just know that no one has died. And so far, the future may have changed or may have not changed. We don't know, but right now it's looking good. So Chifu is like, hey, you got that right, man. Tamagichi takes one last look, and then he's passed out because he took the biggest beating. Like we know, Tamagichi's the punching bag of this series, so he took the biggest beating of them all, man. Mitsuya grabs him, puts him on his back, and he says, Draken and Mikey, thank you for coming out, man. Y'all did it. Y'all the real MVPs of tonight. Oh, y'all the real fighters of tonight. But he goes, the MVP goes to this guy right here. It's Tamagichi, man. So now we kind of conclude with them. They head out. We sort of sitting back. It's Coco asks a question. Is it over? And anyway, like, yep, we're through. So all that loyalty they had for Taiju, like it's all gone, man. Like, I mean, that's the way of the world, right? So yeah, and he goes, he's out, man. So he said, hey, I'm out. Hope y'all have a nice one. I'm gonna head out, man. And he goes, what you gonna do, Coco? And Coco says, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna follow you. So they started walking out, and they make their way out, and I love it, man, because Coco was just like, later, Taiju, like nothing happened, right? Hawkeye is sitting there. They're finally getting some of their closure. What Taiju telling them, man, hey, man, uh, um, how's your first loss? Hawkeye is asking him, how's your first loss ever? And of course, Taiju didn't say anything. And he says, man, you're strong. You're real strong. But as long as you keep your using violence against your family, he goes, I was mistakenly try to kill you, but I'll keep on fighting you. And then he walks away. Basically, or hopefully, leaving his brother, leaving everything behind. Yuzia started same thing. She says, ever since mom died, you cut yourself off. You didn't treat us right. He goes, but after everything that happened, if you continue doing this, you're an idiot. And she goes, it's been a long time. You moped and you put us all through pressure on yourself. And he goes, what is it? And she asks him no question, what is a family? And he goes, I thought I was alone. And she said, and she said, I was the same. And she said, I hated so much, I wanted to die, but I love my family. So she walked off. So we don't know whether she truly left him or not, or she's going to try to not revive, but like stick with him, try to help him through this painful process that he's going through. But me, truthfully, I would have kicked him in the face one last time and stomp on his stab wound times, and then walked off and said, hey, catch a nice life, right? So I mean, that's me personally, right? So we get to like sort of like the cutscene, the ending of the entire series, the end of the episode. They go through the credits, so we're on the end credits, right? We see driving in the back. We see Tamagichi holding on to somebody, motorcycle driving. He passed out. He wakes up. He's on the back of the bike. He's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And Mikey, he was like, "What's up?" And Mikey was like, "You're awake? That's good, man. Just hang on tight, man. We're driving." So they make it to the destination. Tamagichi recognizes the place, and then he sort of stops, and then they fade in, and then it's Hina, and he goes, "What?" And then it ends. So episode 9 came to an end. That was a good one. It was a lot. It had a little minimal action. Wasn't a lot of action. I was hoping like they would have duked it out a little more. But I guess like understanding the universe of Tokyo Revengers, if Taiju is epic, Mikey is god tier, right? So that's the way the flow goes. So, it was a good episode. So I pass it on to you, Nick. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job of pretty much explaining the whole thing. It went fast, but it was very detailed and to a point. I feel um, there was a lot of things I really enjoyed about it. Finally got to see Mikey. I mean, that's one thing we love in this anime is seeing Mikey get a do what he does best, and that's fight. And when we get action in Tokyo Revengers, it has to be like top tier because we don't get it often. And I just think like they did a great job, even though it felt fast to an ending. It was well detailed to an ending where they gave you, okay, this is why it's going fast, and it feels like it's leading up to something else, like you said, with Taiju kind of just like defeated, and his brother and sister are kind of they're not really disowning him. They're kind of just like, what are you gonna do now? Like, what's next? And there was a lot of what ifs on the end of this. So they always do the cliffhangers with us. They did it in the first season. They're doing it now with this episode, and it makes you want to come back and really see what happens next, and really what future now is Takamichi going to walk into, because he changed it like you said that nobody died. So now what is the future going to look like? Can he be with Hina? Can what happens with Black Dragons? What happens with Coco and them? What happens with Mikey's mindset of everything? And so there's a lot of unanswered questions for sure, but I liked what they did for sure with this one.
Yeah, very good, man. It was the styling was very nice. The art was good. The the flashback for eating it took forever. Didn't really wasn't really
Yeah.
necessary thing. Like they could have that could have been a little more action time. And, like left us very confused. Like opened up like a bunch of plot hole, not plot holes, but new plots to jump into. Like why was anyway in detention? Why is his Black Dragon uniform marked up with 100 different things on there, like talking about revenge and life and all this other stuff? Why was he wearing high heels? Like, man, like,
Yeah.
did they turn him in the juvenile hall, man? Like,
Yeah.
was he wearing red lipstick, like M&M's for lipstick? Like, like I don't know, man. Like they don't give us these answers,
Yeah.
right? So, threw a bunch of questions in there. So I do fault him a little bit on that. But like and then the action with Mikey, man. Like two kicks, I think it was, that ended oh no, wait, one kick. One
Just
kick
one.
ended Taiju, like I feel like we could have got a little combo, man. Like a little combo. But I kind of like figured that that's the what that we're gonna do, because last time Mikey fought, it was like almost the same thing when he was little. Remember, like he took out that kid, that little kid, or well, he was an older guy, but took out the older student with one kick too, like just straight up knocked him in the jaw. So we know Mikey's a badass, man. But here in this anime is Mikey. Would have been nice to see Draken fight, like take on 100 guys. Like, how did he accomplish that? Did he pull out some nunchucks and just started swinging around? Like how do you fight 100 guys? These are kind of questions like we want a little answers to. That they could have spent on. But it was a nice somber moment, man. Those are the kind of things I was like, after I got done watching, I'm working out. You know what? They listen some open threads over there. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It was a good one though, man. So Master of the Ceremonies. So out of 5 stars, where would you rate this Tokyo Revengers?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh,
And I
interesting.
usually I'm generous and everything, but I do
Uh,
feel like I think a 4 is what it's worth of the unanswered questions that we got. And like you said, there are a lot more now of not just the main story but side stories, it seems. The fighting scenes, I always want more, and I get it. He's ties you through what, like 3 church pews, and then got punched in the face and everything. So he's probably tired, but it's like I could have got something else of any.
combo, at least a
Yeah,
combo. At
yeah,
least a
something.
combo, right? At
And
least
it's just something was missing on it. And then if you gave me like the flashback of Taiju fighting 100 people. You could have gave me something, a dragon fighting
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And so there's parts, of course, I feel that they could have done better. But all in all, it was a good episode. It kept me entertained the whole time. It kept me with the needle of, like we always say, threading the needle to the next part. And it left on a good cliffhanger. What happens with Takamichi's future now? Does he get back with Hina? Does he not? And so I enjoyed it though for sure. But I'll give it a 4 for this one.
Gotcha. I have to agree with the 4. That's where I was going to give it to. A 4 as well. Um, Once again, great style art, beautiful as always, good plotting, good moving the needle forward, good resolution that we got. Now, could we have a better resolution between Yuza and Hakai and Taiju? Like a real one, like an actuality one, like something like in the fact that they just forgive him for the years of abuse that they gave him. That kind of like sunk me. That's why I really want to give it like a 3.7 because
Yeah.
like that kind of fell really flat on his face. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna give it a 3.8 because that really just talking about that just got me upset again while I was working out. It fell flat on his face because
Yeah.
there was no consequences for his actions, and I really, really like if this was going to be based on reality, right? Because it somewhat is, right? It's based on reality, like
Yeah.
these actions have consequences thing. Like, where's Taiju's consequences? He lost his gang, like, like I guess that's his little identity. Oh, I guess that's a big identity, but it's like, like dude, he abused you since you were little kids to now. So what, 10 years? Like 10 years has to be about 10 years. Like he constantly abused y'all. And now y'all just forgive him because he got beat up by Mikey once. Like, bruh, like you never heard of repeat offenders? Like, so 3.8. 3.8 is where I'm throwing it. I like the episode. Great ending. I did not like the teaser at the end with Hina because it kind of feels like I told you as soon as I was done, you were like, "Hey, what about the ending, that cliffhanger?" I'm like, "Bro, you just probably wanted to see your boo. That's all it was,
Yeah.
my boo got into a fight, like I don't know, man. Unless she's gonna tell him she's pregnant, like she probably just wants to see her boo boo, make sure he's okay, nurse him back to health. So that's my predictions for episode 10, nursing him back to health, a little retrospective, and then I don't see episodes this season before they end it or take a break. So I guess we got to do a little research on that and see
Yeah.
where they end it.
They've been kind of keeping it like hush hush.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I know they had an agreement of what they were gonna do, but it's kind of it's kind of been hard to figure out where and how many is. See, season 2.
Oh, 13 episodes for the first season.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that means we have a major cliffhanger coming up then.
Yeah, man. It basically ending for three more left. Yeah,
Yeah.
something massive is gonna happen. That's gonna leave us in our jaws dropped. But yeah, so that ends Tokyo Avengers, man. Um, Anything else you want to add, Nick? Anything else on them?
Nah, man. If y'all enjoy these videos, make sure you like, subscribe to the network and the video. It does a lot for us. We finally started recording Blue Lock, so those videos will be coming out. We're gonna catch up as much as we can. Um, Vinland Saga. Make sure you check it out when we do it. We're still waiting for it to drop as of this recording. Um, yeah, just let us know what other animes. I know Andrew was telling me Demon Slayer came out finally this weekend. Let us know what you thought. We'll more than likely talk about it at some point, maybe as the season goes on. And I know Attack on Titan is what everybody's talking about. I'm not a fan of Attack on Titan, but if you are, I will talk about it, I guess, since it's the last season. Um, yeah,
So the last season set in specials. So they're not really like episodes. They're setting specials. So they just released special 1, and it was like an hour long. But yeah, dude, like if you're an Attack on Titan fan, and I hate to butt this one into Tokyo Revengers, but you're an Attack on Titan fan, you need to watch the special. It wraps a lot of the story going forward. It is awesome. Awesome. So season 3, the next one, the that's gonna be the actual episodes. So get ready for them, man. It's taking a weird ass turn. All I gotta say, man, it is a weird turn. But I also wanted to bring out Tokyo Revengers season 2, the live action is going to be happening April 21st, 2013, during Golden Week in Japan. So if you haven't seen, one was okay. I wasn't a run, but the episode 2 or season 2, it has a lot of great Japanese actors in there. Like a lot of my favorite Japanese actors, and they're young, up and coming actors, and I think it's gonna be rocking. I think they learned all their mistakes from 1 and like fixed them in 2. So yeah, so you're gonna see a lot of good guys, man. So yeah, it's gonna be look good. So yeah, but that being said, yep, that's it for us, man. Make sure you check all our social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're hard on TikTok since we have less rules on there, so we're able to post more things. I opened up a new segment called Fast Fridays for Modera's Corner. So it's just gonna be a minute, 2-minute videos of just mangas, animes, up and coming, and everything. So if you're interested and just want to take a quick bite, hey, what's this anime about, or hey, what's this manga? What's my recommendations? I'm gonna start building a little catalog in there. So if you're interested, check it out. Please leave a like and anything with this video. Master of Ceremonies, Nick, you got anything?
No, I just appreciate y'all, man. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll read them and let Andrew know for sure what's being said. After that, man, y'all have a great one. We're out.
Peace.